Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about some of the best link building strategies to get backlinks to your website fast in 2019. So the first link building strategy that I'm going to talk about is the Skyscraper Technique, and this is a very scalable way to get backlinks to your website fast, and it still works in 2019. In fact, I've worked on over 100 Skyscraper campaigns and they almost always perform. So yeah, it's a very reliable technique, and basically all you have to do is look at your competitors' most linked content and create something very similar. So maybe it's more up to date, it's more engaging, it's more in depth and contains more facts, so that sort of thing. And yeah, basically you're going to replicate your competitors' content but create something better. And then from there, you're going to reach out to everyone who linked to your competitor and say something like, hey, I noticed you linked to joeblogs.com. That's a really great piece of information. It actually inspired me to create something similar. Here's a piece. Do you want to link to it? It's as simple as that. And yeah, basically this is a very scalable way to get links to your website fast. You can send hundreds of emails a day if you want using email software like Lemlist or Mailchimp. And yeah, it's just a very easy way to get links to your site. The other thing I'll say is that it works for almost any niche. So, I've worked on tons of different campaigns and they all seem to perform with the Skyscraper technique. And also, when you do this, you're building very natural links. You're building editorial links to your website using the Skyscraper technique. The only problem is that if you're in a very competitive niche, like, I don't know, for example, gambling, outreach isn't going to work like this because it's just too competitive. Also, for very high domain authority websites, like for example bbc.com, you're never really going to get a link from the Skyscraper technique. It just doesn't work because they get too many outreach emails using the same technique. And finally, the other thing is that you have to send this at volume. So you can't just send like 10 or 20 different emails using the Skyscraper technique. You have to send potentially 100 before you even get one link back. Now, sometimes webmasters just won't link for free, or they won't link for nothing in return. And that's why the second link building strategy that I'd recommend is offering a social media share or a link back in exchange for a link to your website. Now, before we go any further, I have to say that you need to be careful with this. So Google's webmaster guidelines state that you can't build links excessively using link exchanges. In fact, you have to do this in moderation. But it's still a very effective strategy. It's still white hat if you do it every now and then. And Ahrefs have actually done a study on this, and they found that link exchanges still get you results in terms of increasing your organic rankings. Yeah, and the benefit of this is that it's a lot more win-win than the Skyscraper technique. It's more focused on building a relationship and a partnership with the webmaster because you're offering something of value in return. And it's proven to work over and over again. But I will say that you need a decent social media following if you're going to offer that in return. So if you've only got like 100 followers on Instagram, for example, that's not a very compelling offer to most websites. And the other thing is as well, of course, you have to be careful how many times you do this. You can't do it excessively. Now, guest posting is another strong link building strategy that still works in 2019. And basically all you have to do is contact webmasters, create a list of high authority websites in your niche, contact them and offer them a guest blog in exchange for a link back to your website. And the thing is that most webmasters, they're paying like $200 or $300 for a decent article nowadays. So if you can offer a free guest blog, that's very valuable for them. And it's unlike the Skyscraper technique, you're actually offering something win-win that benefits them as well as you. And the beauty of this technique as well is that you can get links to your money pages or your review pages. So for example, when you're doing the Skyscraper technique, you're only getting links to your content or your existing blogs. And that's not quite as valuable as when you get links straight back to your money pages or your review pages. So that's something to bear in mind when you do this. The only problem is it's not that scalable. Especially if you're writing the content yourself for a guest blog, then it's going to take you a lot of time and energy to write that content. There's no guarantees a webmaster will actually add it to their website. And also they may have some revisions. So there might be a bit of back and forth between, okay, what content's acceptable for their website. The other problem is as well that once you submit the guest blog, it might take a few months before they actually add it. So that's why I recommend going with the Skyscraper technique first and then using guest posting as a backup offer later on down the line. So the other benefit of guest posting as well is that you can use it as social proof. So when you already have a few guest blogs posted, you can send that out to other webmasters that you're pitching to and say, hey, here's the quality of my content. Other webmasters have absolutely loved it. And that's why I think we'd be a really great fit for a guest blog as well. Another unusual link building strategy that pretty much no one else I know is using this right now is audio link building. And you might be wondering, like, what is audio link building? Well, essentially, this is basically when you reach out to webmasters and you offer an audio version of their blog that you've recorded in exchange for a link back. And how this works is basically you'd create a list of high authority websites in your niche and you'd reach out to them and say something like, hey, I really loved your last blog. That was amazing. In fact, I liked it so much that I created an audio version of it. And I think that would really benefit your blog in terms of making it more engaging and easier to consume. And, you know, where should I send the audio file? Now, if you do this, what you can do is send them the piece of audio code along with a credit underneath. So for example, it could say recorded by joeblogs.com and that links back to your homepage. I've actually tried this myself and it works very well. We had landed some really high quality links using this. And yeah, it's a very unusual technique. So for example, when everyone else is using the Skyscraper technique or they're offering guest posts, this makes you stand out and it makes you look unique. It's also more personalized and win-win than just doing guest blogs or the Skyscraper technique. So that's why I'd recommend it. It actually performs very well. The only problem with this is, again, that it's not that scalable. So when you're recording audio, someone's going to have to spend their time doing that. And that might be you or it might be someone of your team, but it's either going to cost you time, money or energy to do. So you have to be kind of careful with the resources that you have, and that's why I recommend only using this technique for really high authority websites. The other problems are that, of course, if you're recording an audio version of someone else's blog, you need their permission to record it. So don't record any audio until you have the permission of the webmaster or until they've said, okay, hey, send me the content now, because you don't want to infringe on any copyright legislation. The final link building strategy that I'm going to recommend is networking. And this is kind of old school, but offline link building works really well. So if you can attend conferences, events, seminars in your niche, where you know you're going to meet other website owners that have relevant content to yours, then that's always going to create opportunities. And creating those one-to-one personal relationships demonstrates trust, demonstrates like personability and credibility. And when someone knows you, they're much more likely to give you opportunities to get links on their site versus just being some random geezer off the internet who just emailed them out of the blue. So how can I build strong relationships with website owners? And one of the best ways to do that is meeting them one-to-one. And the other beauty of this is that when you meet them face-to-face, you know, there's going to be a much higher conversion rate of meeting people to links versus the Skyscraper technique, for example, where you have to send 100 emails or meet 100 website owners before you get one link back. So that's why networking is so powerful. Now, if you don't have the time to attend events, or maybe you're worried about the cost of doing that sort of thing, then what you can use is LinkedIn groups or Facebook groups. And if you offer people enough value and, you know, they trust you, then that's going to offer opportunities. And it may not just be about link building, it may be partnerships or it may be affiliate offers too. So networking is a very powerful way to build links with other website owners. So one of the link building strategies that I don't recommend, but a lot of people are doing right now, is paying for links. And this may be the easy option, you know, when you're getting backlinks to your site, but I just wouldn't recommend it. And some link builders will even tell you that outreach doesn't work, that you can't build links with the Skyscraper technique or guest posting, and that you absolutely have to pay for links now, which I don't believe at all, and that's not my experience. I think if you have the right approach, as I've shown you before, then you can definitely get links to your site without paying for links. And the problem is that even though you can get away with paid links right now, it's against Google's webmaster guidelines, and in the future they may release an algorithmic update that actually penalizes you for using paid links. So it's something I wouldn't recommend if you want to protect the long-term health of your website. The other thing is as well that you have so many link building strategies to perform that you don't need to rely on paid links. And the other problem is as well that if you form a relationship with a website owner based on money, every time you want something from them or every time you want an exchange, they're always going to expect money from you. Whereas if you do the Skyscraper Technique or guest posting or audio link building, it's a win-win relationship that doesn't involve money. So now you know my top 5 link building strategies for 2019 to get backlinks to your website fast. So I definitely recommend the Skyscraper Technique, offering link swaps, networking, audio link building and guest posting. These are all extremely powerful ways to get links to your website fast. So thanks for watching. If you want any more link building tips, don't forget to ask. And just one question I'd like to know in the comment section, what's the link building technique that you're using right now? Okay, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more link building tips.